Hey, it's Shane with GotRom.com. I want to talk to you today about how to do a full back bridge without hurting your low back. So when I first tried a back bridge, I remember feeling a tremendous amount of pressure in my low back, and I was like, that cannot be healthy for your low back. As I got into it more and I actually made it a goal of mine to be able to do a full back bridge, I realized that you're actually not supposed to feel a back bridge in your low back. In fact, another name for a back bend or a back bridge is called the thoracic bridge. And that's because you actually want to be arching more from your upper back rather than your low back, arching more from your thoracic spine rather than your lumbar spine. So why can't people do that? Is it just a technique issue? Well, that can be part of it, but more it's a mobility issue. There's 4 things that, because they are tight, means that your back takes the brunt of the stress. So those 4 things are shoulder flexion, having your arms overhead in the back bridge. Your thoracic spine is too tight, you're a little too kyphotic. So you're missing shoulder flexion, you're too kyphotic, you can't arch from your upper back. Also, your psoas and your hip flexors and your abdomen are too tight, and that also leads to excessive movement, excessive arching in your low back. So why this happens is basically the principle is simple. If one joint or one area in your body is restricted and you're trying to go into a movement like a back bridge, something's got to move. So it's going to be something either upstream or downstream. And in the case of the back bridge, if both my shoulders are too tight and I can't arch from my upper back, what happens is I arch excessively from my low back, and that's where all this compression and feeling of pain happens. Similarly, downstream of the low back, the hip flexors and the abdominal fascia is too tight. People aren't doing enough hip flexor stretching with their leg kind of behind them, and therefore, again, something just upstream, the low back, compensates and moves more than it should. So the low back is kind of sandwiched in between upstairs is too tight and downstairs is too tight. So what's in the middle moves more than it should, and it's painful. So it's too much for one video to cover how to fix all of that. That's practically your whole body. I have a full program about the back bridge for that. But I just wanted to illustrate the point that if your back is hurting in back bending, back bridging, the thoracic bridge, back handsprings, whatever you're doing that requires global arch, global extension of your body, then you need to work probably on some combination of your shoulders, your thoracic spine, your abdominal fascia, and your psoas, aka your hip flexors, and some combination of that will allow for comfortable back bending. So give it a shot. Yeah.